you and me, we met during the FuturePulse project in Athens, actually. And FuturePulse is a European research project with the aim to build a tech product that looks into predicting future trends in music and identifying emerging artists and predicting the popularity of the songs. And now, after all these years, the FuturePulse platform is currently in beta stage, which is amazing because I've been speaking to our friend, common friend, Daniel Johansson, and it's often that the Horizon 2020 projects don't really develop into a real functional project. So I'm interested, and our listeners are interested to understand, what is FuturePulse? How did it start? Who are the partners behind it? And who are the product for? And where are you going next now?
Okay, yeah, great. I mean, FuturePulse started in 2017. That's quite a while ago now. And indeed, it's not automatically granted that something that starts as a research idea emerges in an actual product and something that can be launched on the market. But here we did achieve this, and we're very proud of this. And yeah, let me tell you a bit more about FuturePulse. So that's a cross-European initiative. And what's the first thing that is really interesting about it is a very interesting blend of technical partners, research partners, and music industry partners. We got here the famous IRCAM Institute, Centre Pompidou in Paris, that does a lot of research in music analysis, and music production also. Then we have BMAT, Barcelona Music Audio Technology, that are famous for their radio monitoring. We have here CERT, is a department of the Institute of Technology in Greece that is pursuing a lot of research in online data analysis, social media analysis, but also trend metrics, trend predictions for artists, for example, for genres in the music. Then we have Musimap here, our company. Our core element is really semantic music analysis, where we extract information such as the styles, the genres, the tempo, beats per minute, the vocal gender, but last but not least, we do a lot of mood and emotional analysis. So we brought that into FuturePulse, but we also developed a new engine about track popularity prediction. So we measure how a track is performing immediately after the release on online platforms, streaming platforms, and online social media platforms, such as, in the streaming world, YouTube and Spotify and Deezer. We look also at the radio monitoring and try to get all these indicators and predict how this track is gonna perform in the near future, how it's gonna do right after the release. So that's a core topic of FuturePulse, but it's not the only one. So we built a platform in futurepulse.eu, which you can access and try at this moment already, where we index on a daily basis a large roster of artists and all their tracks and releases, and you can get up-to-date figures on how they're doing on these different platforms, how they're embedded in different countries, how they're doing compared to other artists in different countries, and then what genres are emerging, what artists are emerging. You can get a dashboard seeing all the metrics of those artists, and then you get these predictions. That's something, there's not many solutions for this out, where you not only gather all the figures on one centralized dashboard, but you get actually a prediction of the future, what's going to be happening next with the artist and the release. That's why it's called FuturePulse. The project has been developed for 3 years. We received now, as you said, a beta stage, and we're looking on how to further commercialize this. And we're happy for everyone who wants to give this a test and help us through feedback to know how to further improve this.
And I've actually tested it myself. Who would you say is your clients that would benefit from this product?
Yeah, first of all, I forgot to mention, so I mentioned the technical partners, but then we have 3 use case partners in the project that are meant to be the prototypical and the first early adopters of this solution in the market. And we want to address 3 different domains, which we identified very early on in the beginning of the project as the use cases. So these, we call them the use case partners. And here we have Soundtrack Your Brand, which is a Spotify subsidiary, and you have been working there. Yeah, so this is a very interesting collaboration there, because Soundtrack Your Brand is responsible for playing out music in different stores. So it's an in-store music solution where you obviously need to adapt the music to the people, to the target groups of a certain date, a certain time of the day. And that can be very different scenarios, like a store where you buy clothes, or a restaurant chain where you want to have breakfast or lunch or dinner, fitness and hotels chains. They all have very different needs in terms of what music selection they need to do. So you need to specify like a certain energy of music, a certain era of music, a certain trendiness. This is all parameters that we can determine by this combination of the audio analytics that we do and the online analytics that we do of measures that we get for the songs. And then another use case partner that helps us a lot on getting this done to really fulfill the needs of music industry here is a label, and that is Playground Music, one of the biggest labels in Scandinavia. They have a couple of thousand artists, and we track all these artists and can provide early on the indicators of how their new releases are doing on the different platforms and how they will do by the predictive functionality that we have. And the third use case and use case partner here is Sonar, well known probably as a festival operator, festival organizer in Barcelona in Spain. They are world famous. They do festivals not only in Barcelona, but in other cities and other countries that reach from Dubai to Argentina, I believe. And they are in need always to have the latest trends in different genres and different artists. Like who are the emerging artists in this sector? They are mostly an electronic music festival, but also avant-garde. They want to represent avant-garde artists, and that is very difficult because nowadays with millions of artists emerging, and you have some trending on YouTube already, but how do you find the trending ones on YouTube? And we take care of measuring these early indicators that show us who are the interesting or likely to become interesting artists, and help the festival organizers also and live venues to identify the artists they could feature in the near term.